Hello and welcome everybody again. This is another HoNReplays.org tournament gamecast. This is the Insane Rabbi signing on, and my good friend Capitalist is here with me today.
Hello.
And I believe he is also eating. That is great to hear there, sir. Nom nom nom. Nevertheless, our cameraman is Snoopy, so everybody give a huge thanks to him. He's coming in here with some high-def camera recording. And we have today a match between T7H and, is that W4I or W41? I believe it's W4I. Cap, do you know?
It's Wait For It is their name, so W4I.
Gotcha. Now, we have T7H coming in here, actually second, I'm sorry, W4I with the first pick, first ban. And I just... Okay, I'm sorry. The Game Replay staff was sending a clan-wide message, but it does not have to do with this game. I believe it actually has to do with our Game Replays staff tournament team, which I was very upset I was not invited to, and I do feel that I am one of the best, if not the best, Game Replays staff player. But and then Cap, of course, being exactly. But nevertheless, bans coming in. Wait for it with the banning order of Ophelia, Blacksmith, and Accursed. I agree with all three of those bans. They are solid bans. Ophelia for the jungling, babysitting, healing, just Imba is all hell. Accursed, 475 direct preventative damage via heals and then the shield. Of course, the shield then popping for 200 and basically being unkillable via his ult. Blacksmith with the imbalanced stun and the AoE magic reducing armor slow. Just great bans overall. No real synergy with them, I think just banning what they don't want to deal with in the game. T7H banning Kronos, Hellbringer, and Demented Shaman. Basically, they banned Demented Shaman hoping to bait a first pick of Zephyr, which I'll get to that in a little bit because Wait For It completely fell for it. Yeah, so Demented Shaman, basically the only babysitter you really want to put was Zephyr because you gust into the heal. He was banned, making Zephyr, like I said, a baited pick because Zephyr's not going to have any good babysitter, or not the most ideal babysitter to lane with, so hopefully they're going to have to put him solo mid against what is most likely going to be a puppet pick from T7H. Hellbringer, of course, his ult with Malphus huge, Life Void, most broken skill in the game, arguably, the dot of damage that does, you know, just the tick, 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 10 to 80, and then the slow, the attack speed slow. Hellbringer, always a good ban. And then Kronos, stealing agility and such, making Zephyr, quote-unquote, that much stronger, not, of course, to a ganking lineup, which is exactly what T7H is going to run. Really just putting it out there like, please pick Zephyr, please, we're going to ban Kronos so we can't steal your Agi, and we're going to, you know, leave it out there for your first pick, but we're going to ban its best babysitter. I just completely mind-fucking Wait For It, in my opinion, unless they still feel Zephyr's a solid pick. But like I said, you're going to have to solo a mid, and then I'll discuss why they just picked outside of being able to solo him mid. So we did see Zephyr first pick from Wait For It. Next, we see T7H grabbing Plague Rider and Slither. Slither being first pick. Common strat by check 6 because of his malleability. He can push and defend with wards. He can support. He can have huge lane control. He could also solo. So really just a great first pick all around. So malleable, so strong in so many situations. And of course his ult, just the ultimate of ultimate. Then it goes back to Wait For It. We have Soul Reaper and Defiler being picked. Defiler most likely going to solo mid. Soul Reaper, with Accursed being out, is looking to most likely babysit the Zephyr, I want to say, but yet again, not a great babysit. Actually, he may lane with Jeremiah for the dual heals lane, but it's not Soul Reaper Accursed, not going to be as strong. You don't have the shield or the heal. That's spammable, at least, on Accursed, whereas Jeremiah's heal is relatively high mana costing and 20 seconds, I believe, on the cooldown. Type the fucking... Oh. Yep, there is a disconnect here, by Time to Farm.
Time to Farm?
That's his name. This will be actually a remade game, So that is unfortunately the time to farm did disconnect. Nevertheless, I do want to go over these picks as best I can. So Voodoo, I don't really know what their lanes are going to be. I'm not going to lie. This is kind of weird. Maybe a Voodoo Jeraziah and a Soul Reaper Zephyr, or it's going to be Voodoo Zephyr. It might be Voodoo Zephyr, actually. Zephyr Gust into the stun, Cursed Ground, and attack. That's most likely what it's going to be, actually. So that's interesting. Voodoo, as you were saying earlier in a game cap, is becoming the new like 2-3 pick in Dota. So I'll have you go over that in just a little bit. But Jeraziah most likely there for the repel on Defiler, keeping people healed. Soul Reaper there for the heals. So we'll see how it works out. They have a lot of damage over time in Zephyr and Defiler. And Behemoth 5th pick by T7H. Great pick. You're going to see a Plague Swiftblade lane, a Slither Behemoth lane, and of course a Corrupted Disciple solo mid. Like I said, most likely Witch Doctor Zephyr lane, Soul Reaper and Jeraziah lane, and then Defiler solo mid. And it'll be interesting to see what happens here, but we are going to get the remake into the all-pick style. Alright, we do apologize that Yellow did disconnect, but obviously there's nothing we can do about it now. So, I believe I went over the picks. I'll say that I genuinely think T7H has outpicked their opponents in this case. The lanes are a bit funky. You have an aggressive style babysitter on Zephyr, but whereas Zephyr's Gust, he has 4 or 5 of them. Voodoo is only going to get one combination of stun, curse, ground off, even if he gets, you know, a relatively good beef of mana regen, maybe a second combo off, because all his skills are very high mana costing, whereas a single Gust is all Zephyr's going to need. So not as good as a D-Sham where you can Gust, heal, Gust. Okay guys, welcome to another HoNReplays.org tournament gamecast. This is Insane Rabbi here today with my good friend Capitalist. I believe we actually already did all the introductions though during the picks last time. I might have forgot about that.
Let's go. He just wanted to say his name again.
Exactly. I love talking about my dude. I love talking about myself. I love it. All right. So I think we're all good. We did have the picks from before, and let's get a full set of picks. Anyway, the reason I think T7H has outpicked W4I is they're going to run Slither Behemoth, which is a huge lane, Plague Swift, huge lane, Corrupt Disciple mid against the Defiler. I think the CD is going to probably neutralize Defiler, and Defiler's going to farm, CD is going to farm, and there's really not going to be a whole lot going on there. The real question is going to be, are they going to be able to gank Zephyr effectively to keep him down enough? And I think the 5th pick Behemoth is going to allow him to do it. Getting a portal key on that Behemoth is going to be huge. And yeah, I just see that their lanes are stronger than Wait For It. So I believe the Blink Dagger on Behemoth is going to come early enough to where they're going to be able to Blink ult and really do some serious damage to the Wait For It team. Hopefully, you know, chain stun Soul Reaper and Jeraziah long enough to just get the picks on them. Swift coming in with his ult is also going to be huge in the sense of burst damage. Plague ult going to be huge, and like I said, as long as Behemoth keeps Jeraziah and Soul Reaper stunned, which the early Blink Dagger should allow him to do, I think they're going to take it, you know, take this game down. But yet again, if Zephyr gets farmed, especially with Jeraziah and Soul Reaper there, and then Defiler for sitting and tanking, if they get buff, if T7H doesn't go up, you know, 20 kills to 10 by the 25-minute mark, they're in some serious trouble. If Behemoth does not get the early Blink Dagger, or excuse me, the early portal key, they're in trouble. If any of the lanes for Wait For It win, T7H is in trouble. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out here. I believe they're going to put Zephyr bottom. Witch Doctor, or I'm sorry, Voodoo Jester and